If you want to make pizza, but have no oven to bake, then cook it on the stove and have no fear. No oven, no cry. This woman, no cry. In my opinion, the best homemade pizza starts with homemade dough. And this is just the right amount for a personal size pizza. I've got some all-purpose flour going right into this bowl. A little pinch of salt. A wee bit of active dry yeast going straight into the flour. Then just give that all a mix. For the purposes of this dough, I don't find it necessary to have to proof the yeast in a separate bowl, add the water, then add, no, you don't need all that. All you have to do is dump some warm water, I have some in a kettle here. That goes straight into the bowl. Just a touch of olive oil and give it another rough mix. You're looking for something that's not too sticky and not too dry. I'm gonna give it a little kneading in the bowl first just to pick up all the little scraps. I love this recipe. If you think making homemade pizza is such a burden, it's not. Let's say you've had a really rough day, you come home, you start doing the dough, leave it to the side, take off your clothes, get comfy, and then you're ready to make pizza. You do that, right? When you get home, you take off your clothes. Just feel free. That looks good. Now on my board here, sprinkle a little bit of flour and transfer it. This is my favorite part. All you have to do is fold the dough onto itself several times while picking up all of the leftover flour until you get a nice smooth surface, like a nice butt. This is what you're looking for. I have this bowl here that I'm going to lightly grease with some olive oil. Spread that all over the bowl. That's my rubbing technique. Rub it till you feel satisfied. So dumb. Pop the dough in there. Make sure to get that all lubed up as well. All right. That is going to be its home for the next hour. Give it a nice little blankie in the form of a clean kitchen towel. And let this rest somewhere warm until it poofs up a bit. And voila! In practically no time, my dough is ready. Like, you could do so many things at that time. Have a quickie, read a book, whatever you're into. All right, this goes back on the board. The dough is nice and soft, ready for me to work with it. Now this is the best part of the whole recipe. You don't need an oven to make pizza. Don't believe those lies they tell you. You could do it all in a skillet on your stovetop. So I have a cast iron skillet. I like to place my pan over the dough so that you can kind of have an estimate of how wide you have to form a round. You don't have to use all of the dough for just one pizza, depending on how thick or thin you like your crust. You guys know I usually like things thick, but for my pizzas, I actually prefer thin crusts. So I'm just stretching this out a bit. Got my pan heating up. Just gonna add a little bit of olive oil. Simply place your dough straight into the pan. Cook it on medium-high, keep an eye on it. You want it to bubble up a bit and then get nice and golden brown. Then we're gonna flip it. Let's talk about the toppings. I've got some ready-made sauce, fresh mozzarella, sliced black olives, a little pepperoni, some Italian sausage that's already cooked, red onions, and some fresh arugula for nice brightness. Oh, you hear that? I heard it whistling a little bit, so I'm gonna check if it's ready to flip. And yes, it is beautiful. So just flip it over, boom. At this point, lower your heat so that the dough can continue cooking but not burn while you have time to put your toppings. So in first with the sauce. The cheese. I like to just tear it up into little pieces so it melts faster. Assemble and top as your heart desires. To help the cheese melt a bit, just cover it up. They'll just take a few minutes. I don't like to add the arugula then because I want to stay a little crisp. All right, this baby is done. Look at that. Check out the bottom. Oh, yes, perfect. Transfer it on here. It's ready for some of that arugula. Sprinkled on top. Crispy, perfect pizza. And there you have it, homemade stovetop pizza. I hope you guys give this a try. I'll see you next time. Remember to just eat life. You hear that crunch? Oh yes.